Coming up on Network Africa, wife and son of Gabon's ousted leader Ali Bongo gets 20-year jail term over embezzlement and corruption. United Nations calls for investigation into alleged killings of hundreds of people during last month's post-election protests in Tanzania. Plus, Angola celebrates its 50th independence anniversary with a grand military parade and cultural performances. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Layo Olarinde. We begin the program in Gabon, where a court has sentenced the former First Lady and son of deposed President Ali Bongo to 20 years in prison after being found guilty of embezzlement and corruption. Sylvia Bongo and Noureddin Bongo were convicted on Tuesday night following a two-day trial held in their absence. The court also imposed fines of 100 million CFA francs each, while Noureddin was ordered to pay an additional 1.2 trillion CFA francs in damages to the state. The two are accused of taking control of government affairs after former President Ali Bongo suffered a stroke in 2018 using his illness for personal gain. Well, both people have previously denied the allegations. In Côte d'Ivoire, President of the Pan-African Congress for Justice and Equality of People, Charles Blegoud, is calling for national reconciliation in the country, urging President Alassane Ouattara to exercise clemency towards citizens imprisoned amid post-election unrest. He cited the late South African leader, Nelson Mandela, as an example of achieving national unity through forgiveness, who stopped his people from taking revenge. The opposition leader also congratulated President Ouattara on his victory in the October 2025 election, urging him to exercise clemency towards his Ivorian brothers and sisters who are imprisoned in connection with the demonstrations related to the October 2025 election. President Ouattara won his first term in office, securing around 89.77% of the vote, according to the Constitutional Council.
When you take our history, people been fighting, killing fathers, killing brothers. We went through this. When I came back from The Hague, my aim was to bring together my countries, my people also. I can give you the example of Nelson Mandela in South Africa. After 27 years of being jailed, when he was out, when he was released again, he didn't revenge. It took his time, during 4 years, because at least he was released in February 1990, but the election took in 1994, I think, and was elected. Among these people, among his followers, there were people who wanted to revenge. So I stopped then from that, because he wanted to be non-South Africa. This is what I want to do in Côte d'Ivoire. So I want people in Africa to bring together again, to live together again. I think this is possible, because it was possible in South Africa. It was possible in Rwanda. It was possible in USA.
Still on post-election matters, the United Nations is calling for an investigation into the alleged killings of hundreds of people and other violations committed during and after the elections in Tanzania. The call comes as Tanzanian authorities charged hundreds of people with treason over the demonstrations. UN human rights spokesperson Saif Magango urges the Tanzanian authorities to provide information about the fate and whereabouts of all those that are still missing, and also to hand over bodies of those killed to their families for dignified burials.
We are calling for investigations into the killings and other violations committed in the context of the 29 October elections in Tanzania. There are disturbing reports that hundreds of protesters and other people have been killed and an unknown number injured or detained, and that security forces have been seen removing bodies from streets and hospitals and taking them to undisclosed locations in an apparent attempt to conceal evidence. We strongly urge the Tanzanian authorities to provide information about the fate and whereabouts of all those missing and to hand over the bodies of those killed to their loved ones so that they can be given dignified burials. All opposition figures arrested before the general election, including opposition Chadema party leader Tundu Lissu, and other individuals who have been arbitrarily detained since election day, must be unconditionally released. Those arrested or detained on criminal charges must be promptly presented before a judicial officer and must be able to effectively contest their lawfulness. Those arrested or detained on criminal charges must be promptly presented before a judicial officer and must be able to effectively contest the lawfulness of their detention.
Well, as Mali continues to face security challenges, Bamako has opened the inaugural BAMEX 25. It's a military and defense exhibition hosting military delegations from over 50 countries. According to organizers, the exhibition aims to provide a vital platform for addressing geopolitical security challenges, particularly in the Sahel region. The expo featured pavilions for the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, comprising of Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger, and the Malian Armed Forces. Officials framed the expo as a gathering aimed at building a more secure, sovereign and resilient Africa.
Accueillir sur ce site des expositions, pas des expositions de Bamako, autant de délégations venues des pays frères et amis, d'entités industrielles du secteur de la défense et de la sécurité, originaires notamment de la République du Guinée.
Neighboring Nigeria's security challenges have become the main topic of conversation at different fora, including at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, the NIIA, in Lagos. In its distinguished lecture series, the governor of Kaduna State, Senator Uba Sani, revealed his model for curbing insecurity in his state under the topic, The Role of State Governments in Overcoming Insecurity in Nigeria. Our Foreign Affairs correspondent, Amarachi Ubani, reports.
It's another day for the distinguished lecture series of the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs. And this time, the Kaduna State Governor, Senator Uba Sani, is the guest lecturer. Addressing participants made up of members of the governor's entourage, some members of the diplomatic corps, and research fellows of the Institute and other invited guests, the Director General, Professor Hosal Saye, reiterates that the issue of national security should not be left to the federal government alone.
Cooperative federalism means that states and the federal government must work together in harmony. They are not rivals or contesting or competing levels of government. They are complementary, especially on matters of security.
Chairman of the NIIA Governing Council, Professor Bolaji Akiyemi, vouched for the governor's vision for Nigeria, going back to his days as an activist in the then NADECO.
I know his belief and his vision for this country. I'm sure that when he joined NADECO, he really wasn't sure whether he was going to survive the struggle, knowing the people we were fighting. But he thought, he believed that Nigeria was worth fighting for.
The governor's lecture is characterized by security interventions involving people participation in various aspects such as the Interfaith Council.
As a testament to its effectiveness, Kaduna has not experienced any ethno-religious crisis in the last 2.5 years.
The governor refers to his strategy as the Kaduna Peace Model, a holistic approach to solving security challenges with people at the center.
Traditional institutions and local actors play a vital role in the peace building and sustainable development. In many communities, trust in formal security agencies is limited. Harnessing the legitimacy of traditional rulers and community leaders in peace building bridges this trust gap.
During the question and answer session, he addresses the need for community policing, which he says will help shore up the dwindling number of the Nigeria police. Comments and commendations also characterized the session. Amarachi Ubani, Channels Television News.
In the history of the United Nations Climate Conference, the United States for the first time has not sent a delegate. However, the governor of California on Wednesday did not only attend the conference in Belém, he also signed a memorandum of understanding with the Nigerian government in defiance to President Trump's rhetoric about both climate change and insecurity in Nigeria. In the meantime, Ethiopia has been confirmed as the host country for COP32, a long-confirmed Africa COP that has seen Ethiopia and Nigeria vying for hosting rights, with Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed dubbing Addis Ababa a global city in climate ambition during September's Africa Climate Summit. Well, here's more details from our correspondent Ayala Kasim, who is in Belém.
He's an unusual sight at COP30. The governor of California within the blue zone and in the Nigerian pavilion with his team to sign a 5-year partnership MOU on peer-to-peer learning in the green value chain.
We don't tolerate our diversity, we celebrate.
He was quick to point out the beauty of a federal system and the 10th Amendment of the United States Constitution that allows the states to form partnership even with Nigeria, a country recently designated as a country of concern by the United States President.
We're the most, as I said, un-Trump state in America. And our state of mind is very different than the president's. We don't think it's a zero-sum game. We believe in more partners. We believe in more friends. We believe that divorce is not an option. We're going to have to define the terms of our future together. And it's important to establish respect, establish relationships of trust, openness, and on the issue of climate, there's nothing more imperative that we work together across our differences. So that's our approach.
For the Nigerian government, this move is to show the start of things to come.
There's a youth element that Africa brings, and that really is one of the main advantages that would forge this collaboration and this partnership to make it a sustainable one and a longer lasting one. And so we're quite keen to see how things move forward.
Meanwhile, during a side event by the Global Alliance for Rights of Nature, there was a moment of silence in honor of Ken Saro-Wiwa and the Ogonifo.
And so remembering Ken Saro-Wiwa at an occasion like this is so significant, because there are a lot of earth protectors in the world today who are threatened. They are really a threatened species. And in many countries, when you talk about the rights of nature, is considered as something that is unacceptable. And so there's a growing movement that this has to be corrected. And Ken Saro-Wiwa's life and what he stood for lights up what should be done. It really it shows to the whole world the right path to take. And that is why it's so important to recognize the sacrifice that he paid and the other leaders, not just in Ogoniland, but across the world.
In the negotiating rooms, delegates are still working on how to reach agreement on some of the thorny issues.
We know what has to be done, and we are ready to deliver. And with a stronger support from our national leaders, we will do the job.
112 countries have submitted their updated national climate plans. But the United Nations Environment Programme says they still fall short of what is expected to avert the expected warming. From the Hunger Convention and Fair Center of the Amazon in Berlin, Brazil, Ayola Kasim, Channels Television News.
Let's take a break now on the program. Still to come. Egypt unveils the 5th Forever Is Now exhibition showcasing contemporary artworks inspired by ancient civilization. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the program. We continue in Kenya. The niece of Agnes Wanjiru, a Kenyan woman who was found dead more than 13 years ago, has expressed cautious optimism following the arrest of the main suspect in the UK, a former British soldier. Esther Njoki, Agnes Wanjiru's niece, who is also representing the family, says at least now the family appreciates the government taking their relative's case seriously, alleging it was a case of massive cover-up. Back in 2012, the body of Agnes Wanjiru was found in a septic tank at a hotel in Nanyuko, where she had last been seen with a group of British soldiers. In 2019, a Kenyan magistrate concluded that Wanjiru was murdered and a formal extradition request was filed in September. The suspect is named as 37-year-old Robert James Perkis, a former British soldier who has been arrested, facing possible extradition to Kenya. Well, the case and its delayed procedures have sparked widespread outrage in the East African country, and the victim's family and human rights groups allege a cover-up to shield British soldiers who trained in Kenya from persecution.
With the new development, we're very happy because we've been waiting this for long, for more than 13 years. And at least now we can appreciate the government is taking Agnes' case serious, because it's a case that it was a case of massive cover-up. But see, now the main suspect has been arrested. It's giving us hope that justice will be served soon. My aunt was an extrovert. She was joyful. I miss her smile. And also, Agnes, she was social because everyone, especially her friends, used to hang around her. So our house was full packed of her friends only. So it can show you the kind of person she was. Like, everyone wanted to hang around her. As a family, the reason why we need justice, it's because what happened to Agnes, it was inhumane, and also she left a child. So we need to be accountable for the child, because she needs answers of why her mom was killed. Again, seeing that it's the culture of the British soldiers doing what they want and getting away with it. That's why we want justice, and also to bring change through the case of Agnes Wanjiru. I'm hoping to bring change.
Well, the Central Bank of the Kingdom of Eswatini says it is working to strike a balance between driving innovation in digital payments and ensuring robust consumer protection and data security. The statement was made during the official launch of the 4th edition of the State of Instant and Inclusive Payment System, SIPS, the report hosted by the African Nenda Foundation in partnership with the Central Bank of Eswatini, the World Bank, and the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa.
Our platform, because we're not only looking at the technology, but from a technology point of view, our platform is built to natively support security. The solution that we have adopted it's PCI DSS certified, meaning it enforces out-of-the-box data protection. Information is encrypted, it's secured in transit, as well as at storage. So this already introduces us or clears the ground for us to tap into security. Within the bank, we have an information security division that are responsible for the policies, for the procedures, and even the technology that will allow us to pick up any cyber security related threat in the environment. This solution that we're speaking about, it's under 24/7 surveillance by our information security team.
This is a huge initiative by the Eswatini payments industry. This is an initiative by the Central Bank of Eswatini in partnership with banks, non-banks, and mobile money service providers providers to deliver this payments infrastructure for Eswatini. So with that in mind, there has been a need to establish partnerships with various supporting entities. And with African Nenda, the partnership was established in early 2025 as technical assistance to the project to provide just guidance and also lessons learned from other jurisdictions as they were implementing similar projects. And they have been very instrumental in helping us in terms of sharing their experiences and as well as providing technical expertise in various aspects of the project.
Here in Nigeria, the Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems has announced plans to launch the second phase of the Onje Co-Farmers Subsidy Program before the end of November this year to support farmers across the state and ensure they have access to quality feed to boost their production. This was announced by the Lagos State Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Systems, Abisola Olusoya, during a press conference in Ikeja. She says the initiative will be carried out across 10 different locations in the state.
The Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, has approved the implementation of the Phase 2 of the program, expanding its reach and scope to provide greater impact and support to farmers across different value chains. And this phase will include the following interventions. We'll be giving a 25% subsidy on poultry feed for both layer mash and broiler starter and finisher. The assumption is that this time around, when you are getting your chicken from a Lagos farmer, you should be getting it at a cheaper price. Also, we'll be giving a 25% subsidy on fish feed. Also, we'll be commencing the distribution of agricultural inputs and equipment to crop farms, to cluster farms across the state to enhance mechanization and reduce manual labor. We would also embark on the distribution of free bags of fertilizers to our horticulture farmers, that is our crop farmers across the state, to boost productivity. And also we would give a 25% subsidy on the eco-agro mechanization services, supporting tractorization and large-scale cultivation. In addition, the state government will also implement a 25% subsidy on essential food items such as rice, beans, garri, eggs, bread, pepper, tomato, tatashe, onion at the Lagos Fresh Food Hub in Mushin throughout the festive season. So if you have a place where you need to do your shopping, it is at the Fresh Food Hub. And subsequently, when we commission the other hubs, this is the value to be enjoyed across board.
Angola has celebrated its golden jubilee of independence from Portuguese colonial rule in Luanda, the capital, and it featured a grand military parade and cultural performances and hosting a series of regional leaders. In his address, President João Lourenço cited the volatile situation in the African Sahel countries, the war in Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo as problems that deserve full attention, pledging that his government will focus on building an inclusive society with equal opportunities for all citizens. The ceremony also honored Angola's founding president, Antonio Neto, who led the popular movement for the liberation of Angola to independence and governed until his death in 1979. Angola gained independence from Portugal on November 11, 1975, following a prolonged armed struggle that began in 1961.
Bring this together.
And this is the fifth Forever Is Now exhibition that has opened against the backdrop of the Giza pyramids in Egypt, showcasing contemporary artworks inspired by ancient Egyptian civilization. It will be running until December the 6th, and the exhibition serves as an artistic platform that blends the authenticity of Egypt's rich heritage with contemporary creative expressions, attracting international artists and visitors from around the world.
Ready? Let's go. Hi. Very. And what I will try to do is to bring to life
those images that really inspired me in the cities in the streets of Cairo, but also the ancient images of the people that lived in Cairo for the last century, and bring them all together in this almost tower, Babel Tower, that I wanted to create, that pays a homage to this. And it's really next to the pyramids and bringing the times of today to dialogue with the pyramids. Inspiration.
And as we end the program today, here's our fun facts about the continent. Did you know that the deepest river in the world is the Congo River, which reaches depths of up to 220 meters, that's about 720 feet at its deepest point, and it's located in Central Africa. And that's it on the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Layo Olarinde.